Good morning. This week's weekly tip is going to focus on changes coming to the ShowingTime feedback report and what's going away from the feedback report and how you could pivot to a much better report that I'm going to introduce you to called Seller Insights. So let's take a look at why ShowingTime's report, what's changing there, and then we'll come to where we need to be. So I am, with the permission of Robin Gordon, I'm using her account to demo a live listing for you. So when you go into your ShowingTime account, there's obviously under listings, if you click, you kind of see all the active listings and the appointments you're getting. And the primary purpose of ShowingTime was always to provide the showing framework for a client, your agents to schedule showings, and also report back to your seller on showing feedback. However, a while ago, ShowingTime also embarked on this journey of potentially in the listing activity report showing property views across major sites. And as you can see, it's a hit or a miss, and they've struggled for a while to actually document or pull data from other parties. And the irony of the situation is ShowingTime is owned by Zillow, and the Zillow stats are not showing. So the bottom line is ShowingTime has made a decision, and we've sort of pushed them in that direction to kind of take this box off, because when you're sending this to your client, it doesn't really give a complete picture of Zillow, Homes.com, our website, all of it. So this box is going away October 27th, Friday, 2024. So, and this report will continue to be very valuable to you to share with your clients, seller clients, about showing feedback. As you would see, it has a bunch of showing feedback. So this box is going away, but this report will continue to deliver showing feedback. So what would you replace this with for you to demonstrate online activity for that listing? That's where I want to take you next. And that is Seller Insights. So if you were to go to your dashboard, I'm logged in under Robin's account. So if you can see here on the dashboard, the first thing you need to do to send this to your seller, online seller activity, is make sure under the clients section, if you click contact list, you need to make sure the seller is added as a contact, because the seller report or the seller insights, you have to select in from a drop down or type the name in, and you'll see that in a second. So make sure the first step one, go here, add the contact as a contact record. Minimum requirement is obviously an email, but a first name, last name would be great. Okay, and you'll see why. And then you would go to listings. Let's walk through the process, and I want to pick the same listing that we looked at in the appointment in ShowingTime here, 1362 Indian Creek Drive. So I go here, 1362, and you click on the MLS number, and that will take you to this page right here, which shows you a bunch of things, bunch of options, but you're focusing for this purpose is Seller Insights. So when you go to Seller Insights, this is where you can set up, as you will see here, I'm going to remove that so we can show you what the whole process looks like. So it'll come from the listing agent today. Co-listing can send, but the link will go back to the listing agent. So that's in the works, but the listing agents can send this. So add your contact. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my name, and you'll see here, pick the name, because the first name can be put in. So it adds my email. That came from the contact that we added under the clients that I showed you early on. You can also get copied. If you want to do that, you get copied. And as I scroll down, let's look at the cadence first. Every week, every 2 weeks. If you don't set this up, nothing's going. So let's just say we said every week. And you can also say until the listing is sold. So every week it'll go with updated activity, and I'll talk a little bit about what kind of activity here. And I want to say send immediately. If you want, send email and save. It'll send a copy immediately. And then going forward, it will do the cadence you pick in the drop down here. Let's look on the right here. View nearby property. So the report will include activity that's happening with the listing, what you've done. You can make it radius. In some cases, radius is just fine. But if you're operating in a high price range and you don't want the radius to include lower price listings, you can create a safe search. I'll include a link on how to create it. And if you click this, you can pick it from the Save Search dropdown once you create it. So it is tailored to 1362 Indian Creek Drive. But in many cases, a radius might just work fine. So you can increase the radius just by doing this. There you go, 2 miles. Let's say I did it a mile. Fine, and I hit save, but let's walk through what else is included. What's included here is, it'll include High Rajiv, since we last spoke. It's going to pull all of the general activity that has been done or scheduled for the listing that the system knows about, like open houses it would know, etc. And then I'm going to come back to adding manual activity also. What if you did a mailer or you emailed your database announcing something? The seller doesn't really know that. You can add that as a task, and that will go in here. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. Property for sale, it showcases the property a little bit. And then here's where the listing traffic summary. Now look at this number and look at what this is showing, right? It's just not accurate, and we're going to what we're showing you here. It shows you last week total views. Now these views you'll see here are coming from all of the portals and the Fox Roach website and the agent website, of course, on foxroach.com. So last week, listing details, meaning this is what people actually saw the property detail page. This means the property showed up in search results among other properties. So it goes from last week to last month and since listed. And as you can see, it's October 3rd is when it was listed. So all the numbers sort of match because it's since listed last month and last week is really the same thing. But if it's days on market are a lot, then these numbers will vary accordingly, okay? All right, so properties at a glance, homes sold, average days on market, what's going on in the area, and we've done the, 0.5 miles radius. You can increase the radius if you want. You saw that ahead of time. And here's the property, and here's what it's competing with. And this is where you can kind of fine tune it a little bit. Like for example, this may not be a competition for this listing, but these two definitely are. So if you do the save search, you can really tighten it. But this is a very good looking report. And when you click send immediately and hit save, it's going to refresh the screen and it's going to go immediately. And since I added myself to this, and this will take a few seconds to refresh, and you will see, I'll show you what the client gets. So this is what I got in the test, seller insights for 1362, and it lists all the stuff, and there's the traffic, and I'll show you when you click on it where it takes you. And when you click on see all traffic, it takes you here for a nice looking digital display, web display of what we just saw inside the platform. Listing traffic last week, last month, since listed, and all the stuff that we just saw there shows up here, and you'll see sale price. So this is a great web report. Set it up for it to go automatically. And then the last thing I want to show you as I end this video is, I'll move myself over here. Seller Insight Report captures the things that you entered in the MLS or you've done an ACE, like, you've done a digital ad through Facebook. It doesn't know that, right? And your seller should probably be informed of that, of your activity. And so this is where you can go under Task Manager. Let's say today is October 14th, and this goes out today to the seller. But on the 16th, you hosted or you did a mailer to a geographic farm. The seller doesn't really know that, but you could go into Task Manager and simply add a task, name it, give it a completion date, and hit submit, and it will go in the next week's Seller Insight Report. So adding task is for all the manual stuff that you may be doing outside of what is automatically captured. And what's automatically captured is open houses, if you've done anything else that the system is aware of. Okay, so that's under Seller Insights. Hope that helps. October 27th, the property views across major sites is going away. And we encourage you to leverage this for a more complete picture of Seller Insights that is incredibly valuable to your sellers. And look at the link in my email and on YouTube in the description if you're looking to build a safe search to really tighten the competition, but in many cases, radius works to get started. Hope that helps. Great day, everybody.